Last one, Traffic Magnet. It's not all about pages and funnels. I want to flip this a little bit. The Traffic Magnet is basically about helping them rank better. So it's about SEO ranking. And you might think, oh, look, I'm not a search optimization specialist. That's fine. Neither am I at all. I certainly don't call myself a search optimization specialist. But we do rank really well. And we've helped some customers rank for some amazing terms. This is also an authority piece. If you have a customer who is, like we said, an influencer, maybe speaker, sorry, they're not a speaker, but they want to get into speaking, or maybe they have a product, but they want to start speaking at events, or maybe they want to justify or increase their prices. This is a great way of doing that by increasing their authority and increasing their impact in the marketplace. And finally, this is all about building out, obviously, traffic on automation, as well as audience. I'm going to talk about audience because this is going to be slightly different, I think, to what you guys are expecting. Type of business that really benefits from this is one that's already making sales. And incredibly, there are businesses that make sales without a lot of traffic. They just do it through hard work and cold calling and moxie and grit. Or they've been around for 20 years, but they don't get a lot of traffic to their website. So they're already generating sales. The reason this is important is because a business that's generating sales can afford to buy traffic. A business with zero sales can only afford to put time into their traffic process, which is going to take a long time. It still does take a while to rank, but for the sake of buying traffic, which is what we're going to be talking about, they need to be already generating sales. They're also doing lead generation. A good example of this would be a server business that we worked with. Back in 2013, maybe, like the concept of virtual machines was becoming really big. The concept of working remotely was becoming bigger and more acceptable. And now everyone's phone does the things that entire servers were built to do 10 years ago. But these guys were attending a lot of events, huge number of events, and they were trying to generate leads through the classic, like the iPad giveaway. If you've ever been to one of those events, and I was like, hey, sign up here and get a free iPad. And they're a relatively new player to the market. They were doing sales, they were doing leads, but they weren't able to do them at scale. So they were struggling to do this at scale. They basically had sales teams and they needed to be able to do this at scale. They needed to be able to do it 24 hours a day. The benefits to this is, again, basically what you're going to be selling. First of all is audience growth. Now, if you're already generating sales, you've got an audience somewhere. And a lot of people are like, do people really want to know more about translation and localization? Do people really want to know more about server racks? Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of people want to be a part of that. They want to understand that and be a part of that philosophy. Growing your audience, if you say, look, if you're already generating sales and leads, but you want to do it at scale, you're struggling to do it at scale, I'm going to show you how to increase your audience, also increase your prices, which is a big one. If you're able to say to a business, a coaching business maybe that's got like 5 or 6 plus coaches, you say, how would you like to add a 0 onto your coaching calls? How would you like to increase your average invoice? Go, yeah, that sounds good. Awesome. Here's how we can do this. This process is about increasing prices, increasing the audience, and also lowering your ad cost. So here's what the flow looks like. Unsurprisingly, this is going to be a big part about content. I'm going to split this up. Chances are, if they haven't got traffic, it's because they're not producing any content or they're not promoting themselves. So the first thing you're going to do is create what we call authority content for them. So this is great for copywriters. This is great for people with a content team. You're basically, I talked earlier about how they need to be producing 1 piece a week. This is how you're going to help them do it. You help them produce 1 piece a week. You start with a killer, high quality, long form piece of 10K content. You interview them, you draw that out of them, and you've got a long piece there. And then you say to them, cool, we're also going to do some blog posts for you. Remember, they're already generating sales, okay? So we have a bit more time. Where a lot of people get unstuck with this is they're not generating sales, they're not already generating leads, but they think that creating blog posts will immediately turn them into a Google ranked business overnight. And that's just not what happens. And you know that's not what happens. Then a paid platform like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, what we do is we take those platforms, we start to look at who is reading this type of content, and we both remarket to them like this, and we build what we call lookalike audiences. Lookalike, L-A-L. This scales and begins to grow really quickly. This probably is minimum a 9-month process plus, minimum. We're going to help them rank, absolutely, by creating this type of content regularly and repeatedly. But what we're also doing is an audience funnel, an authority funnel, and lowering ad cost inside one of these platforms. Facebook is probably the easiest place to go for right now. I also really like YouTube. I know Instagram's owned by Facebook, but strictly keeping it on Facebook. And YouTube does the same. In this piece here, we take this same content. Anyone who's a lookalike audience, I'm not going to get into the specifics. If you look up Miles Beckler at milesbeckler.com, he'll teach you how to do this for free. He's got blog posts, YouTubes, podcasts, interviews. I absolutely love Miles, love working with him. He'll teach you how to do this stuff. So we take, even if it's 20 people, right? Even if it's 20 people, you can create lookalike audiences from that. If they've already got sales and leads, you can create lookalike audiences from them. And we take those lookalike audiences and we say it's a lookalike audience of their email list, a lookalike audience of their customers, a lookalike audience of their website traffic, a lookalike audiences of their subscribers. And we start to show that same content to them, just the blog posts. Now, I'm even going to go one step further. You take those pieces of content, which are maybe 500 or 1,000 words, and you just have the content, the written content, inside the Facebook post which you are promoting. You see, there is a link if you want to read the rest of it or read the 10,000 word one. Anyone who interacts with these posts, even better than this is video, if they've got video content, and you might have to create video content with them, and it's easy. I'm doing it right now. You just do a live broadcast. It doesn't even matter if anyone doesn't watch it. You take it and you push it out to those lookalike audiences. You say, here's some free, completely free video content. No call to action, right? No sales process, no ads, no opt-ins. You just push content out to them. Because you're also going to build an audience over anyone who watches 50% plus of these videos, put them in another list because they're qualified. And from there, you can start offering opt-in forms. Now, again, typically in the past, I've done it where I've shown them 3 different videos and then one like ad at the bottom. This one here, when it starts to work at scale and people wonder how they never did this before. And what I like about this is if you've got this process working and this process working, you can add this one in really easily. But there are businesses who are already doing leads and sales who essentially need a campaign. And notice we haven't said, oh, you're buying a funnel. We're basically saying, look, would you like to lower your ad cost? Doing this lowers your ad cost, increase your authority. Even just creating the high content, high quality, long form piece of blog content will increase your authority. And ideally, they've got a book, and then you can begin to mix that into the funnel as well. But you're building out an audience. You're saying to everyone who visits the website, that's one audience on Facebook, right? Or YouTube does the same, remarketing. I also want to create lookalike audiences from anyone who visits. I want to create lookalike audiences from my list, and I've got my list. I want to create lookalike audiences from my customers and my customers. And you're able to use this information, and you pay to put free videos in front of them. That is what will increase authority. And there's ways of targeting off the back of that as well. So those are the 3 funnels we've got. Let's see, we've got some questions here. Can that bonus also be a video where you ask them to read a book review, and in the review there is a link to Amazon where they can buy a Kindle? The short answer is yes. I would just test it, man. I would test it. We've got one where after you opt in, there's like a free plus shipping offer on the book, and we then ask for a review afterwards. My advice is just whatever offer you can think of, anything, it'd be really fucking good. Remember what I said earlier, bought sooner. Most people buy in 90 days. They do some kind of, what if we could do that to 1 day? What would be the thing you'd want them ideally to do immediately then? Test it. And you can always split test the offer again as well. I like that tip on the thank you page. Do you agree that it's sometimes better to get the offer right in front of them rather than relying on future nurturing as people in their right frame of mind? 100%. Someone is never more likely to buy than right now. So the number one best time to close on a marketing funnel proposal or any proposal is there and then. This is why I always do marketing proposals live, face-to-face. I'll do them over typically Zoom or Whereby or something. Ideally, I do it in person. And most people go, yeah, but no, the customer wants to read over the offer. They want to read over the proposal. No, they fucking don't. They absolutely don't. It's nonsense. All right. They absolutely want to feel like they're making the right decision. They're making a smart decision, and they'll give you excuses. And I'll say, we want to read it over. Say, look, man, you need to buy this at some point. Would you agree with that? At some point, you're going to have to buy this. Yeah. So tell me what's wrong with the offer that I gave you. I don't like to rush into things. I completely agree. I don't like to rush into things either. But what's the worst that's going to happen if you buy today? Here's the example that I would give. Again, going back to being a doctor. A few years ago, I broke my wrist quite badly in a surfing accident. I had to go into hospital. It was a scaphoid break, really bad one. The doctor told me, we're going to have to jiggle it about. Right, you're gonna have to take a lot of painkillers, which is gonna make you feel woozy. We have to jiggle it about and essentially re-break it, even though it had just broken a few days earlier. I kept it for 2 days. I was like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I kept it for 2 days. They said, we're gonna have to re-break it because it's knitted in areas. We're gonna have to re-break it. You're gonna have to take some drugs. You're gonna have to be in a plaster cast. You're gonna have to come back in 6 weeks and do another plaster cast. And then afterwards, we might have to do surgery, and then you're gonna have a lot of physiotherapy on it. You have to do a lot of exercises. At that point, I'm thinking, fucking fix it. Now imagine if the doctor went, cool, let me know if you've got any questions. I'll let you think it over. And I'm like, fix it now. Do the thing now. That's exactly what people are in their state of mind when you've given them an offer. So I'm a big fan of putting an offer in front of someone. No one has ever lost a sale by putting the offer in front of someone too quickly. You'll get a rejection, a no, and you go, why? And they give you a reason. That reason is an objection, and it's a way to learn how to sell to them quicker afterwards. Good question, though. We're trained not to jump down their throat after the conversion. I think that's why, and it's funny that's universal. Yeah, and the reason that's universal is because people have an inherent fear of being disliked. I would gladly be disliked by very few people in order to be seen as, Mike's really keen to help me. He's got all of these products available. This company is really keen to help us. They've got all of these products available for us right now. They clearly want to help us out. I'm not ready to buy just yet, and I don't have to. I can just exit the page. Great. But I do know that Mike is absolutely willing to put offers in front of me. The thing I don't like, the thing I loathe more than anything, is the Warrior Forum ClickBank style launch process where they launch a product to you, they try and 10 upsell pages, and then they just fuck off and they never update the product or content ever again because they've got $1,000 per person. They're what we call white whale marketing because they know that 1 in 1,000 people on their list is going to buy every single product and it's going to generate them 6-7 figures. Okay. As in 10 of those people, 100 of those people are going to generate them 6-7 figures. They don't care about the lower end people. And that's why they then strut around going, every sale we do is, every launch we do is like 6-7 figures minimum. And it's because they have a fuck ton of upsells, but then they never do anything with the customers afterwards. If you want to play the long game, you make an immediate offer to them and say, hey, I can help you out. You continue that through the process. Would I consider 2K high ticket? No, absolutely not. I would say that 2K could be a core product, absolutely, as long as it's got at least £1,000 profit margin, which means it only costs you £1,000. But you shouldn't be delivering anything for 2K. 2K is a course. 2K is a coaching program. We've bought books and training material for $2,000. If you think that going to university, buying some of their books is $200, 10 books is $2,000. That means that you shouldn't be doing services for that. Your high ticket services should absolutely be in the 5-figure range. Hence, my book, is where we get into the plug process, right? 5-figure funnels, that will literally teach you how to sell marketing funnel services for 5 figures. 2K is great. I think all businesses should have a 2K product as long as it's profitable. That's your course, that's your training, that's the level of equipment. And if you go, my customers don't want to pay more than that, you've got the wrong customers. Nothing wrong. Where does a VA come into this? I remember you once mentioned use a VA for delivery. Care to touch on that for a bit? With you, it's wrong with the customers. Where doesn't my VA come into this? My VA does a lot of different stuff. The 2 VAs we've got, they look for blog content, they hire people. To be honest, there's nothing in here that you need to get a VA to worry about too much. But if you have a process for creating this, you can pay someone else to do it. That would be where I would start. If you have a process for building out a sales page, this is a beautiful $3,000, $4,000 project here. Single page. And they go, we don't have a video sales letter. Great. It's another $4,000 and we'll help you create a sales letter. If you've got a process for it, that helps a lot. But immediately here, there isn't anything that sticks out immediately. My VA is more for my stuff, personally. Cool. All right, guys, I think that's it. Cool. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. Massively appreciate it. Head over to sellyourservice.co.uk if you want to get any of our free training. I've actually got that 49 niches. I think it's like sellyourservice.co.uk/49 niches. Enter your email address there, and it'll not only will you get 49 niches that funnel builders should go after, as well as it does actually tell you a little bit about what they'll buy, but also you'll get redirected and you'll see how we use that sales process and how you could build that for customers. Thank you so much. Meantime, guys, have courage, commit, and take action. Bye, everyone.